Hi, Deborah Borchardt here, and I am joined with Jim Cramer, and we're looking at AIG, which it seems like every day we have a new company that is at the top of our list to watch.
There are only two companies that can't fail, AIG and Citigroup.
And let's talk about
They cannot
AIG.
fail. If
No.
they fail, we will not get the market open. Okay,
really, they need help. So is that the question, is if the government helps them or not helps them? Is that
unfortunately not the U.S. government that really needs to help AIG, it's Europe. Because the problems of AIG are really much more Europe-central than American-central.
Okay, so if they do not get help, what is the situation? What will happen?
Well, I mean, many of the banks that relied on AIG to be able to have AAA credit on portfolios will have their portfolios downgraded, which is why, like for instance, UBS goes down every day. Well, UBS is probably interrelated to AIG. AIG has such terrible disclosure, we have no idea who their customers are. So
because their products are insured by
AIG insured a huge amount of financial products in Europe when they felt that in 2005 that this market was going down. Marty Sullivan led a charge over there to insure mortgage-backed bonds the same way that MBI and AMBAC did, and they don't have the capital to make good on those.
Okay, so they get no help. Other banks are going to be affected.
Right. Well, a lot of banks. I believe there'll be a lot of banks that will go belly up if AIG isn't saved. AIG is. Look, I could see Citigroup failing and mean less to the market than AIG.
If AIG does get help, then
if AIG just get help, then we just have a crummy market still, but we do not have a crash.
Okay.
I think that the people in government, I have come to believe, are far less sophisticated, including the Federal Reserve, to the ramifications of AIG. I've been saying this for so long that I feel like a broken record, but AIG is a huge, huge liability. They have all these illiquid assets that they can't sell. Even if they sold them, it wouldn't equal to what they have. But they don't have to pay unless an event's triggered. That was one of the things that we realized why MBIA is still in business. But AIG, we have no idea what they do. We have no idea. The government has let both the state governments that regulate AIG and the SEC have simply allowed them to do whatever they want. We have no idea what they insure. They did only once give us a little bit of sense, and it was their December 6th analyst meeting. It was opaque, but it did explain that they're the insurer that allowed a lot of banks to meet their capital requirements to stay in business. So if they go out of business, there'll be a huge number of banks in Europe in particular that will not have the capital to stay in business, and we'll call it a worldwide freeze, and should bring down the world capital markets.
That is a very
It should bring them down. It should bring them down. Now, anyone who reads me knows that I'm a silver lining guy, that I try to find that the market was at 1,300 when I started. It goes to 14,000. AIG will destroy much of the capital formation process in the Western world.
Okay, well, let's hope that we get the better side of those two options.
But again, I would warn you that the people who are involved in regulating and the government are way too unsophisticated to realize what I just said. They're way too unsophisticated. They just don't know what they're dealing with. Nor would anybody who reads the financials have any idea.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jim. We'll definitely keep our eye on this story.
Western World Finance, AIG.
And this is Deborah Borchardt and Jim Cramer at TheStreet.com TV. Stay tuned for more.